Good afternoon, boys and girls. Today we're going to be working on lesson 25. So everybody, touch the letters OA in part 1. Letters OA, so we're looking right here. Good job. OA in part 1. Listen, the letters OA go together and make the sound O. What sound? O. You're going to read words that have the letters OA in them. You're going to say the sound for the underlined part and then read the word. Touch the first word in column A. What sound? O. What word? Foam. Next word. What sound? O. What word? Float. Next word. What sound? O. What word? Boasted. Next word. What sound? O. What word? Loaded. Let's look at part B, boys and girls. First word. What word? Croak. Next word. What word? Soap. Next word. What word? Bloat. Part number 2, boys and girls. What sound? A. What word? Explained. Next word. What sound? J. What word? Changing. Next word. What sound? E. What word? Speedboat. Next word. What sound? Ow. What word? Astound. Next word. What sound? R. What word? Carved. Next word. What sound? What word? Observed. Next word. What sound? What word? Lanterns. Next word. What sound? L. What word? Already. Next word. What sound? J. What word? Arrangements. Next word. What sound? S. What word? Excited. Let's go ahead and look at part 3, boys and girls. We're going to talk about what those words mean. Word number 1. What word? Statue. Who knows what a statue is? A statue is a likeness made of stone, wood, or metal. Everybody touch word 2. What word? Figurehead. The carved figure on the front of a ship is a figurehead. Number 3. What word? Salvage. Valuable objects that are saved from the ocean are called salvage. Touch word number 4. What word? Claim. When you pick up something you own, you claim it. Everybody, what's another way of saying the man picked up the luggage he owns? Think about it. Get ready. The man claimed his luggage. Word number 5. What word? Marine. Marine is another word for sea. Animals found in the sea are called marine animals. Everybody, what are plants that live in the sea called? Get ready. Marine plants. Good. Let's continue with part number 4. Make sure we're paying close attention. Look at the first word. What word? Darkness. Next word. What word? Grain. Next word. What word? Better. Next word. What word? Oxygen. Next word. What word? Placed. Next word. What word? A afraid. Next word, what word? Nearly. Next word, what word? Probably. Next word, what word? Believe. Next word, what word? Dead. Next word, what word? Slime. Next word, what word? Covered. Next word, what word? Company. Next word, what word? Profits. Next word, what word? Split. Next word, what word? Suggested. Next word, what word? Proof. Next word, what word? Explore. Next word, what word? Writing. Next word, what word? Important. Next word, what word? Early. Next word, what word? Guess. Next word, what word? Instruments. Next word, what word? Restaurant. Let's go ahead and look at part number 5, boys and girls. All of these words have more than one part. The first part and the last part are circled. Touch word number 1. Word number 1 is individual. What word? Individual. What is the first part? In. What is the last part? Ow. The middle part is spelled D-I-V-I-D-U. What does that part say in the word? Dividu. So the parts are in, dividu, all. Say the whole word. Individual. Touch word number 2. Word number 2 is combination. What word? Combination. What's the first part? Come. What's the last part? Shun. The middle part is spelled B-I-N-A. What does that part say in the word? B'nai. So the parts are come, b'nai, shun. Say the whole word. Combination. Number 3 is obviously. What word? Obviously. What's the first part? Ob. What's the last part? Li. The middle part is spelled V-I-O-U-S. What does that part say in the word? Vias. So the parts are ob, vias, li. Say the whole word. Obviously. Touch word number 4. Word number 4 is disagreement. What word? Disagreement. What's the first part? Dis. What's the last part? Meant. The middle part is spelled A-G-R-E-E. What does that part say in the word? Agree. So the parts are dis, agree, meant. Say the whole word. Disagreement. Touch word number 5. Word number 5 is participants. What word? Participants. What's the first part? Par. What's the last part? Pants. The middle part is spelled T-I-C-I. What does that part say in the word? Get ready. Tissy. So the parts are par, tissy, pants. Say the whole word. Participants. Let's go ahead and start with our sentences. Sentence letter A. I am obviously in strong disagreement with that plan. That means it should be very easy to see that I do not agree in any way with that plan. Sentence letter B. Individual participants went to their different meeting rooms. That means each person who took part went to a particular meeting room. Read sentence C. She obviously had a combination of good looks and a sense of humor. That means it's easy to see that she had good looks and a sense of humor. Sentence D. There were only 3 participants in the final events. That means only 3 individuals took part in the last event. Sentence E. Every year some students forget the combination to their locker. Let's go ahead and look at part 6. We're about to begin with their story. Exploring the ship. Jane and Doris made it home safely from the reef. When the women returned to their motel, Jane was very tired but still excited from their adventures. She and Doris had dinner at the motel restaurant. As they waited to be served, they began to talk. The more they talked, the faster and louder they talked. They made plans about going back to the sunken ship. About 100 times Jane said, "There is no way I'm going back inside that ship." "I just won't do it." She explained that the storm frightened her, but not nearly as much as the ship had. Down in the dark sea, covered with slime and filled with bones. "Okay," Doris said. "Let's go back early in the morning and put up a salvage claim flag. Then we'll make a deal with some salvage company to go out there and explore the ship. We'll split the profits with them." "Hey," Jen said, "that's a good idea. Let's do that." And they did. The next morning, they rented a speedboat, not that old scow that they had been using. The speedboat cost them $50, which was most of the money they had. The women agreed that it would be better to have a fast boat, even if it meant paying more money. The ride out was a lot of fun. Doris drove the boat and Jane sat in the back, feeling the spray made by the boat as it cut a path along the surface of the water. Jane watched the little waves slip by. Then the women placed the red salvage flag around the diving flags over the spot where the sunken ship was resting. Jane took a picture of Doris and the salvage flag. "That's just for proof," Jane said. "We have just claimed a sunken treasure." "I don't believe it." "Me neither," Doris agreed. By noon, the women had made arrangements with an old man from a marine salvage outfit. His name was Mike. By 2 o'clock that afternoon, Mike, Doris, Jane, and 2 other men were anchored above the sunken ship. They were in a boat that looked like an old tugboat. Mike was in diving gear. He and one of the other men explained that they would go down and explore the ship. By 4 that afternoon, the divers returned to the surface. Mike's mask bubbled up from the sea. He pushed the mask back and smiled. "Well, you found a sunken ship, all right," he explained, "but I'm afraid there's no gold on the ship." "Oh, no," Doris said. She turned to Jane and each woman shook her head. "But," Mike added, "there are some things on board that are worth some money." "What?" Jane asked. "Well, there are a lot of little things. The ship was probably built around 1780. It was probably carrying grain and other supplies. There are also some bottles in the hold that are probably worth $20 each. I would guess there are 100 bottles down there." Jane and Doris looked at each other and smiled. "And there are some old navigation instruments. A couple of them seem to be in fair shape. They're probably worth more than $200 each." Mike listed other things: a statue, a carved figurehead, some writing instruments, some old lanterns. Doris and Jane didn't get rich. Their trip to Florida cost them more than $1,000, but each woman got $2,000 for her share of the salvage from the sunken ship. On the flight back home, Jane felt proud. "We may not be rich," she observed, "but we did it. Instead of sitting and thinking about it, we did it. I think that's the most important part."